time is going to be very interesting. I'm sure that a lot of us are going to get a bit of leg out of it in that bit of a structural refresher course, as Brian said. Just to give you an update on you've all got copies of, possibly have the copies of the rules. If not, there are a few changes. If you do see a copy, don't be alarmed and that you don't have what actually is indicated on the rules. There have been a few changes. We thought that it would be in the best interest of the competition to actually just change the rules slightly. In that item number 1A on the listing is indicated that we were going to give you 25 wooden sticks to a dimension 4 by 4 by 600 long. That has changed. We're giving you 15 4 by 4 by 900 millimeter long square dowels, plus 2 900 millimeter long circular dowels, and they're 6 millimeters in diameter. Okay, you'll be given, initially you'll be given one glue pack. It's a 2-part epoxy. If you do need more, you just raise your hand or try and get the attention of either myself or Dave Tennant, who's standing at the back there, or Liesel, and we'll assist you with that. We'll give you another pack. You'll obviously be limited to a maximum of 2 packs of glue. So that's that. You'll also be given a 2-meter length of string, which you can utilize to the advantage of your team, and obviously obeying the set out rules, as it were. If you read through the rules, you'll see that you're not allowed to glue the string along the complete length of a member. There are certain centers which you're allowed to place the glue at. So please abide by that, because your bridges will go via a judge's desk standing at the front here, and they will, later on this evening, they will check the bridges and see whether they comply to those rules. So please, in your own interest, obey the rules, read them carefully to start off with, and just make sure that your bridges comply at the end of the day. You'll also be given one set of clothes pegs. You can use that to actually clamp all the joints on the bridge. Please don't use them as an integral structural part of the bridge. The judges will be checking for things like that. And obviously it's not to your advantage because of the way that the system works, in that your bridge is judged on a load to weight ratio. If your bridge weighs a lot, you're going to be penalized, obviously. The less your bridge weighs and the more load it takes, the better it is for you. So please think of that when you're constructing your bridge as well. You're also given a wooden cutting block, and please don't cut on the tables or anything like that. Otherwise, we'd obviously have to reimburse the city for that. So just be careful. You're also given a mini hacksaw to actually cut your members. I see a lot of the teams have actually brought their own equipment. To a degree, that is allowed. But please don't take any additional materials or glue into the adjacent hall where you'll be constructing. Just leave, if you've got that type of stuff, just leave it out here. As I said, it's not to your advantage. And then also, once you've constructed your bridge, we've given you a 700 millimeter long by 100 millimeter wide cardboard strip. That will represent the roadway of the bridge. So if you could possibly, once you've constructed your bridge, you just slot that in, and it will just sit there loosely, or you could glue it onto the members as you wish. Okay, and then there's obviously also 150 millimeter or centimeter tape, 1.5 meter tape, and a pencil, which you can basically use just to dimension off your members as you cut them. Look, I don't think there's anything else as far as what you've been given. You've also been given a pack of sweets and a few other items on the desk. You'll see that when you get there. I think the only thing left to say is, or to mention, is possibly the listing of the sponsors. I think we should possibly just read them out. Just grab a listing here. A number of teams have gone through a lot of trouble to actually get sponsors, to actually get them here and possibly for their trip and the like. I'll just read them out. Our local sponsors here: Nestle, Uvatec, Daily Dispatch, Cola, Coral Print, Stemela Bosch and Associates, and Contralab are the East London sponsors. Northern Province, SAICE, were their sponsor. Pretoria, there was Compumart and Mima Catering. Southern Cape, Warren Francis and Partners. Ninham Shand in George, Active Civil Engineers, and was called Oso. And in Zimbabwe, there are a few. ASMEC Consultants, Border Timbers, Brian Colquhoun, Hugh O'Donnell and Partners, Civil Planning and Partnership, C&M and Partners Consulting Engineers, Cochrane Engineering, Coastline Africa Limited, Ichifamba and Partners, E.T. Why does this have to happen to me? E.T. Mutangaduran Associates, Fort Concrete, G. Techie Consulting Engineers, J. Goldsmith, Grinica Construction, Hydro Utilities, Interconsult Zimbabwe, John Codard Consulting, Johnson Pump Zimbabwe, Kelpie Consultants, Kuchi Building, Overip, Scott Wilson, Skanska Jensen, SSCT Services, Stuart Scott, Zimbabwe, Thompson Publications, Trust Merchant Bank, Young Bump Jennings, Zimbabwe Electricity Supply Authority, and Zimbabwe Express Airlines, just to name a few. Okay, at that point, I think I'll hand over to Derek Sparks, who would brief you on, or give you a brief lecture on the integral things of structural engineering. And I wish you all the best in the competition, and I hope that every team actually builds their bridges to spec, and that we don't have the unfortunate thing of having to disqualify a team. So please, once again, just to stress, the rules are there. If you're unsure, ask, and we will help you. Okay, I'll hand you over to Professor Sparks.
Thank you. I've got it right. Are we on stream? Can you hear? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Goeiemorgen, dames en heren. And Savona Yonke. I'd like to say that today we're going to make it a day of fun. The idea is that you will enjoy yourselves to the maximum. We don't want to stress you too much, and that is why we will allow you to work until 4 o'clock. That is the last time when you will glue any of your portions of bridge. I will speak English because we got visitors from the north who do not necessarily speak Afrikaans. Maar as iemand Afrikaans wil praat of 'n vraag wil stel in Afrikaans, sal ek dit beantwoord. Now, I'd like to also say that there is something very interesting about a bridge. If we take a bow like this and we tie it over here, this string, we in fact have virtually a bridge. If we put this down there, we push it here, it's very, very strong. Now, in fact, all the bridges that you are building have this type of structure built into it. The upper part of the bridge is in compression, and the bottom part across here is in tension. Now, bear that in mind. Another thing I want to tell you about bridges is that, you know, you look at a bridge with a steel member in it. You've got a lovely bridge here across the Buffalo River. You may not think it's so lovely, but you know, it actually takes railway and motor cars at the same time. One level for railway, another one for motor cars. There's a steel bridge. Now, if you took a member of a steel bridge and you were to compress it like this, you would think that means that this bridge, that piece is going to be strong. You think steel can take a big load. But there's a problem. There's a difference between pulling a piece of steel and pushing it. If you pull it, it is very, very strong if you pull it. But if you push it, it gets tied before it even breaks. Okay? It buckles. Now you must bear that in mind when you build your bridge. You must look at the top of your bridge, your compression members are on the top of your bridge. They must be much stronger than the tension member at the bottom. You make them stronger by putting two members next to each other. If you put two members next to each other, we don't allow you to glue it all the way along the members. You must separate them with little spaces. That makes it much stronger in compression. At the bottom, you only need one piece of wood maybe for tension. You don't need two on each side of the bridge. One perhaps. Now let's look at a few of the principles. I'm going to show you some things up here. One thing about a civil engineer, he usually modifies the forces of nature. Now what does that mean? Here you've got a big valley. That's the challenge of nature, and you have to put a bridge across it. You have a storm coming down the river, and you have to dam it up in order to save water for the dry season. You're working with nature for the benefit of mankind and the environment. Now today we are going to test bridges where there will be a score for aesthetics. That will be judged by the judges, a score out of 30. Then your bridge will be tested here. You will do the testing. You'll find the failure load in kilograms. We divide by the mass of bridge in grams, and we multiply, say, by 200. The idea is that finally the winners will have a total score of round about 100, maybe 110 today. We're going to look at this about how we're going to decide whether the load stays on for a certain number of seconds. We've got a wind-up device. It's not so easy to judge that. We've got some judges who will be sitting in front here. Today the span is this. You'll have to write this down. The span is 630 millimeters. And what does that mean? It means you make the bridge longer than that. Eh? You make the bridge about 690, 700. We're not going to take marks off if you make it too long. You're just making it very heavy. But don't make your bridge 630 long because it just falls to the gap. It doesn't take a load. It's got to be longer. We have a passageway for a motor car to go through the bridge. This is 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters. And we'll come to this later, that the construction below the deck level should not be deeper than 120 millimeters, because we've got a loading device that must be fit onto that bridge. Now I'm getting to the part we mentioned earlier, the similarity between a bow and a bridge. Here is the bow, it is in compression, tension member across there. Here is your bridge, it has a compression member, I've drawn it dark, thick, here's a compression member across there. This is not a compression member, it has tension along the bottom. You still make it strong, but you don't have to put in these little spaces every now and again as you do for the compression members. We're also going to discuss shortly which way should you angle your members. Now here, I suggest the verticals should be fairly strong. These are tension members as I've drawn them, the thin lines. Doesn't mean you'd ignore them. And let's get back to the compression members. These compression members are weak in compression, they buckle like this. they buckle. So we use two pieces of wood like this with spaces in between. And these compression members are stronger if we can separate them by a small gap. We must stiffen the two pieces to each other by supplying these small offcuts as spaces. Tension members are stronger than compression members because tension members cannot buckle. Now, single pieces should be strong enough for tension members, providing your glue joints are strong enough. Make sure your glue joints, where you're going to glue up, are flat. So you put two flat pieces together. Don't make the mistake of taking your epoxy and putting it on the one piece, and then putting the other epoxy on the other piece, and then rubbing them together, and think that you've got a wonderful joint. You haven't. You must mix your glue separately, the two components, and when that's mixed, then you put them on your two bits of wood, clamp them together. You've got closed pegs which have been given to you for that purpose, and you're allowed to also bring some extras if you wanted to. Study the loading device. Now, the loading devices, we've got them down here. We'll show them to you during the morning. Make sure they fit into your bridge. Are any questions so far? Now let's look at the main principles in the construction of a bridge. Wherever possible, you must use triangles. Do not use a rectangle because it can deform like that. You must put a member across there to turn it into two triangles. Now it's easier to construct the two sides of the bridge separately and then join the two sides at intervals along the top and at intervals along the bottom. Remember that the roadway must fit into the bridge, and a clear path must exist through the bridge for traffic. Now cross bracing is essential. All rectangles, wherever you see one, you should turn it into triangles. Avoid rectangles when viewing the bridge from the side, or even when you view it from the top. Ask yourself, should we not turn something into triangles? And when you look along the bridge in the direction of the traffic, you must not see weak rectangular openings, sort of windows that could move sideways, sway to one side. Now, how do we overcome that? Here we are. You'll notice this is what I call a portal. It's like a door. The bridge consists of a number of portals at different intervals. And the vehicle goes through here. Now that portal can be stiffened at its corners. You can put these members in like that to stiffen it. There's an overall width that's in the rules. You've been given the rules, haven't you? Haven't you? Do I have to give you the rules? Okay. I'll tell you what the overall width is just now. And now let's look at various shapes of bridges. This is the normal kind of bridge which you see the railways used to use, this top part. But some teams build another bit of bridge underneath here, so that you've actually got two bridges virtually contributing together, one underneath and one on top. And this we call the deck, where the road goes, where the wheels of the car go. This is quite an interesting bridge. It's an underslung bridge. You can build one like that. And this cardboard deck can be glued to the roadway right along the top of the bridge. It also gives extra strength to the bridge. Now we must ask ourselves, what are we designing? Are we designing a bridge or what? Here you've got a loading device which is not going to be loaded like a bridge, because in a bridge the load can be anywhere along the bridge. The load could be there, or there. But in our gadget we're only putting the load in the middle. Now that means that some of you can think of other ideas that don't look like bridges. It could look like a rafter across the top of a building, holding up the roof. Could be like that. But it will take quite a high load maybe. But there's a problem. You might be marked down a little bit for aesthetics. The judges may think it doesn't quite look like a bridge and they may take a few marks off. But then you may get a very high load, which puts your score up. So there's nothing to stop you in the rules if you want to build a bridge like that. But we've changed one of the dimensions this time. Instead of allowing you a height of 250, we've allowed you extra 350. We've allowed you 350 total on the top. Now I'm going to come back to the analysis of a bridge and deciding on the various members. You can think of a certain member in the bridge and ask yourself, is it in tension or is it in compression? I'm going to give you a rough rule so that you can work that one out. Now this is quite a cunning little thought pattern. It's worth, if you can't see there, just stand up please. I mean, can you see up there? Okay. Finding the type of force in a member. Is it compression or tension? Now we're going to look at a member like this, like CD. And we can think of cutting this bridge with the scissors at FG. If we cut it with the scissors, we've got two parts. And let's forget about the part with the two loads on this other part here. So we only got a part with one load. That's RA, the reaction coming upwards, the support force. Now if we look at this bridge, we have something very interesting. We have a bridge with one force, a piece of a bridge with one force on it. Only one force. Now all of you know what happens when you put one force on an object. It just goes to infinity, it runs off. So this would run off to infinity if it had one force on it, in this direction. Now this member, that's a horizontal member. If it had a force in it, it's pulling it this way, horizontally. This one is also pulling it horizontally. So those two members do not have forces in them that are going to stop this from running off upwards. The only member that can stop it is this CD. Now I ask you, you think about this. What do we have to do here? Do we have to pull it down here? Or do we have to push it up there to stop this going away? What do we have to do here? Tell me. Do you have to pull it or push it? We have to pull it back down against RA, right? RA is pushing it upwards, so to pull downwards. So there's a pull in that member. There's a tension in that member. We could take all of these members and apply the same rule, and you'll find that if you incline these members like that for your bridge towards the center, they will all have tension in them. And I think you'll agree, you'd rather have tension than compression because of this buckling in compression members. Tension members don't buckle. So you'd rather have something like that with all your inclines down towards the center. Right. Now the members along the bottom of the bridge here are in tension. They can be made of wood. Wood is stiffer than string. Well, we'll come to the string just now. Now the beams under the cardboard deck just here should be strong because you've got a loading device here. So make sure these beams just under there are strong because of the loading device. Now let's talk about string. I want to read here because it's quite explicit here. In theory, string can be used for members in tension, but string will stretch before it carries a large load. Your bridge might bend so much that it slips down between the two end supports. If you wish to use string for some of your tension members, you can tighten the string slightly before the glue sets or even after the glue sets. You can, if you're putting extra string onto your bridge, you can tighten it slightly. Or use a double thickness of string. You should make your bridge longer than usual so that it does not slip down between the two supports like a bent banana. I've seen that happen. People use string here and string just gives, it doesn't break, and the whole bridge falls through the gap. Right, now I've told you about finding these tension members and compression members. Does anyone want me to repeat that little story? I can't see that there's a glare here. Okay, you're happy about this, all these coming down like that? That's a good idea. Now, I'd like to tell you that with regard to our roof, we do not allow a model or a drawing to come in while you're building, so anyone who has brought models or drawings, please leave them outside. You could draw on the paper that's provided, on the tables, or you can ask for some extra paper. We can give you some extra paper for drawing. There are some extra things I must tell you about dimensions, if I can find them here. Greg, is there anything you want to say? Right, this is the extra I must tell you about. There we are. You're allowed 350 maximum today, 120 below. The span, clear span is 630, so you go to 690 or longer, and you must have 100 meter by 100 millimeter by 100 millimeter space for the vehicle to go through the bridge. Now, are there any other questions or any questions at all? Enige vraag? You're feeling reasonably happy? Just bear in mind, the sooner you glue your joints this morning, the stronger they'll be by this evening. This evening we're going to test in here at 7 o'clock. Please work reasonably fast to do most of your gluing this morning. Okay? Geniet die dag. Enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Sorry, one other thing.
There are two sponsors that are left off the list, but I want to mention something that's very special, whether they are the ones or not. The major sponsor today is Spoornet. Spoornet have really helped this bridge building exercise. We're going to mention them several times today. What are the two we left off?
The two local sponsors, I think are for Kimberley. They asked okay to let me Spoornet as well. I think it's Kimberley and Oatsworth who were sponsored by Spoornet in those local areas. But as Derek said, the major sponsors for the competition are Spoornet, and throughout the day you'll be hearing their name mentioned as well. So I think Derek is we just move through to these.
Yeah, can you move through now and we'll let you start immediately.
other thing was about the string. You look at the clause 7. The string may be knotted or glued to the members at intervals not closer than 50 millimeters. So your string, you can take it and knot it again or glue it every 50 millimeters. That is there in clause 7. Any other questions that anyone has? Okay. There was one question that was about the clearance through the bridge, 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters on top of the cardboard. Top of the cardboard, 100 millimeters width for the lorry to go through.
I'm going to kill you for a few minutes.
This is from the edge of your bridge, from the edge of the bridge.
And we've got to allow for the passageway, which is behind the bar.
Only 10. 10.
Well, sometimes you get
Pak je goed vast als ik je erin zit. Nou, we gaan net. Kom. Kom. Ik ben goed afpakken. Nee hoor.
Magari me la complicare. Sì, li fai da stasera. Io mi disegno anche ya no.
All things you can use to take us. Okay, we'll read. Nee, dat was gewoon om je gaan. Ja. Wat is dat? Nee. Kijk, nee, daar.
From here, 4:30, and these from your residence at 6:45. These from the residence at 6:45, you must have your uniforms on.
We're just going to get started before you get in there. I've been to other sections. Jenny, should we not come now? Do you want to? Oh my God, Jenny! She's so embarrassed, you know.
We're not scoring the two oldies for the...
No, yeah,
So I have done a rough
Our change, and then it's come to this central, beautiful place in the center of the earth called East London. And how happy he is to be here, not in South End. You're welcome, sir. Dr. Rob McCarroll, Congress Chairman, fellow councillors, directors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you will all agree with me, the engineers and others present here this evening, that you are probably standing in one of the most beautiful city halls in South Africa, engineered over 100 years ago by some grand old engineers in the city that's now this year 125 years old. So I always like to brag about East London being the best city in South Africa, and I can assure you that I certainly think that it is the best city in South Africa. Let me apologize profusely on behalf of our mayor this evening. It is not because he did not want to come and spend some time with you. He is going to join you tomorrow evening at supper. He has just come back from the Netherlands last night. He should actually be at home jet lag, but we have an important meeting on that has cropped up this evening. It is to do with the future of the city, this wonderful city that I believe is the best, and I think, therefore, a very important meeting that he has to go to. So I'm here tonight on his behalf, and basically I'm going to be doing his speech for him this evening. So I'm honored to be the one to convey to you the greetings and abiding love of the East London City Council. I am pleased to convey to you the good wishes and felicitations of the East London citizens. A special word of welcome to the delegates who have had to travel some distances in order to be here with us today. We embrace them all. We are even more delighted as a city to play host to this very auspicious occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, this Congress has even convened at a time when the political triumph has opened a new frontier of struggle. The struggle for political freedom has been fulfilled with the new constitution. The next and real struggle that we are pursuing now is the struggle for economic empowerment. And Saisi has a critical role to play in this. Your association, now in its 9th year of existence, continues to play a strategic role in the national reconstruction. This Congress takes place at a time when the paramount agenda of the day is the practical reconstruction of the society of our cherished dream. Today we are grappling with a real and practical program designed to institute a social, political, economic and constitutional order which will result in the realization of that dream. It is therefore fitting that you have chosen sustainable development as your theme for this year's Congress. Your Congress should serve as a crucible which must prepare us for difficult challenges and battles that still lie ahead. Ahead of us lies yet the noble goal of creating the South African society that is envisaged in the RPP program. We consider the attainment of political democracy as a precondition for the continuing struggle aimed at achievement of full social, economic emancipation for all the people. Commendable progress is already being made in putting building blocks aimed at ensuring the democratization of the political order, the de-racialization and rebuilding of the economy. And the success of this Congress will be judged, I believe, by its ability to work out policy positions and a clear program of action whose fundamental thrust will be the promotion of the agenda of transformation and propel forward the program of reconstruction and development. In order to ensure that such policy positions and such a program of action indeed do emerge from your deliberations, this Congress will have to pose to itself a few fundamental questions. I believe it is the ability of this Congress to find the best possible answers to the questions which will guarantee that the outcome of the Congress will greatly enrich the agenda and the program of national reconstruction. Among these questions will be given the tasks of the current phase. What is the nature and character of Saisi, which is best suited for the performance of these tasks? Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, the task of building a vibrant and growing Saisi, an organization capable of replenishing its ranks many times over, can only be achieved by an organization which can correctly identify the tasks of the moment, exercise effective leadership, and thus earn itself an honored place amongst the forward detachments for transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that whilst you are here, and considering that we have given you some nice weather today, better than we've had in the past few weeks, we've had a lot of rain, and yesterday a lot of wind, that you will also enjoy the nice side of this London, and not only do a lot of work. I thank you for coming, and I wish you a successful Congress. Thank you. And the President is now going to say it.
Mr. Deputy Mayor, Mr. MEC for Public Works and Transport, councillors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and finally members of Saisi. Mr. Deputy Mayor, it's wonderful to be here. It's really a joy that Saisi can have its 9th Congress in such a beautiful city. When I said to the Deputy Mayor that we come from Gauteng, we talked a little bit about our need as Gautengers when we go and visit the Cape, to rush back to the Victoria Tunnel, which is a little smoggy, take deep breaths to remind ourselves of the atmosphere of Gauteng, and then go on holiday again. I'm pleased that there are no tunnels close by, so it will provide us the opportunity of clearing our lungs and our minds. Deputy Mayor, the 9th Congress has its theme, sustainable development and civil engineering. And this is, again, the manifestation of the challenges that are facing civil engineers today, all those active in civil engineering. No longer are we technical technocrats, but we now need to ensure that the developments we do are sustainable and built for the people who are going to use them sustainable into the future. So certainly I think Saisi is rising to that challenge. Thank you very much for hosting this evening. You're quite right, civil engineers do have a thirst, and thank you very much for hosting. The next thank you is for the wonderful weather. Certainly when we got here on Sunday, we weren't sure that we could land at the Gulf Coast winds. We thought we might have to detour back to Gauteng and try again. But today was perfect. And I was just sorry that we weren't able to be outside, but our executive director forced us into meetings. We would surely have loved to be on the beach. Can I talk a little bit about the bridge building competition that tonight we're going to see? This is really one of our primary civil engineering outreach activities. The bridge building is done nationwide. This year we've attracted some 600 schools, pupils operating the length and breadth of the country have built bridges. We've then tested them, and tonight we have the finalists of all those regional competitions come together tonight in the national competition. And a year ago it became an international competition where we had, as we do this evening, a team from our neighbouring state, Zimbabwe, to come and take on the best that South Africa has to offer. So we're going to, the outreach that we do is to ensure that we maintain a supply of engineers. The interest is rather in those pupils of the various schools and understand some of the things we do as engineers and are able to come into the stream to take the place of those who then leave the profession. Civil engineering is like the slogan up above says, civil engineers bridge the gap. But it's more than that. We think civil engineers build and maintain the nation, and we need civil engineers, practitioners in civil engineering, to be active in South Africa for all the programs that the Deputy Mayor has spoken about. Vital that we keep the interest up and keep people in the profession. Can I just reiterate, it's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be here on our 9th Congress. Mr. Deputy Mayor, thank you for those kind words of welcome. I've got to do two things, I was told by Patty. One is to say that when I'm finished, there's supper, and it's in 2 locations, 2 serving areas. And secondly, I can't remember what the second one was. Men can only think of 1 or 2 things at a time. No, it's not true, it's not true. When you've finished your supper, if you'll kindly move through to the room next door, where in fact we're going to be testing the bridges. I think this is the time we all like. The pupils have spent an awful long time building them, and now we're going to smash them to smithereens. Deputy Mayor, once again, thank you so much. It's wonderful to be next time you try my Congress. Thank you so much.
Especially to the students. We've seen you for most of the day. I hope that the day was successful for you, and you built the bridge that you had anticipated building. I know there was a lot of questions and confusion initially, in that the rules were slightly changed, but I certainly hope that brought the best out in you, and I wish you all the best of luck. I'm not going to wait for the people next door. I'd like to introduce Professor Derek Sparks from University of Cape Town. He will be coordinating things from here on. Professor Derek Sparks, welcome, and thanks very much for accepting to convene this and be our Master of Ceremonies. We certainly appreciate your presence, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for this competition, Spoornet. They've given us a very generous sponsorship for the competition and enable us to prepare all this for you. And I'd like you to join me in giving them a hand and just in appreciation for all their efforts and their troubles. Okay, at this point, I'll hand you over to Professor Sparks, and he'll take it from there. Thanks very much, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Minister Matlao, Minister of Public Works, welcome. We are going to show you today how not to build and destroy structures, but I think it's quite enjoyable. And Mr. Haley, welcome, the Deputy Mayor of East London. And Dr. Stevens of Spoornet, there he is. Thank you very much for your generosity and for everything you're doing for this Congress. Not only for bridge building, but for the Congress. And Mr. Brian Middleton, our President, welcome. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the culmination of something that starts in the branches. Each branch has a major branch has about 20 to 30 schools. They have a competition. The finalist comes here, to this national final. So we sometimes have 2 from an area, sometimes 1, but we've got the pick of the crop here. And when you think of it, it's something like how many thousands that we have over about 2 or 3 years, thousands of school children who do this, and they enjoy it very much. Today they came at 9 o'clock. We gave them a lecture on bridge building. We gave them these sticks and various things, a bit of glue, and then they had to start building. And they had to finish at 4 o'clock, and we hope that the glue is dry. We don't know yet whether the glue is dry. I want to also welcome the judges, Mr. Sean Garish, Mr. Chris Thompson, and Mrs. Alison Lawless, who actually is going to come up here because we are so proud of her. Yes, Alison, you mustn't think away. She is, or last year she was the chairman of the Division of Structures of our institution. She runs a computer firm, and she knows quite a lot about bridges. Alison, please come and join us. I also want to thank Greg Cummings for all the work he's done, and his committee, Dave Tennant, Liesel Rigg, and others. We want to now ask the 2 schools to come up first, Dale College and Jeffy's Girls High. Please come over there, collect your bridge, and you're going to put a special device through this bridge, a loading frame. It's over there. There's one over here too, I think. Please come up, Dale College and Jeffy Girls High. I can ask. No. Dale College. It's Dale College. Okay, we have Dale College. Where's this one? We've got a problem tonight, you may not know. We've got some very strong bridges. We've got about 8 bridges which we think might test this apparatus. The bridges may not be tested, but the apparatus might be tested. We've got another problem. We've had the winners 2 years in a row, Stellenbosch Hoërskool. And can they be supplanted this year? That's the problem, huh? Then we've got another contest going on. Kimberley have a boys team and a girls team. And the girls think they're going to win. They're going to beat the boys. So we're going to see what's going to happen tonight. Where's the... Are you there? Can we just have a few slides in the meantime? Oh, we are there, are we? Yes, you can stand for it. Go on. Now, Dale College, let me tell you, it was a one-man show to get here. One man entered the competition, and he won as a single person. So he's come here, and we're very proud of the fact that he came and he brought a friend of his. So it wasn't a full team. Now, this particular structure looks a little bit like a roof truss. But we told them that's allowable, but you might lose some points for aesthetics. Now I'm going to ask you what load you think this is going to take. Where's my friend Brian down here? He always knows the answer. Nobody else knows the answer. Brian, what load do you think it's going to take? Okay. I'm just looking for my loads. Righto, we'll ask you to put your hands up, those who think it will take more than 8 kilograms. Now you're going to keep your own score, each person, okay? And who thinks it's going to be less than 8 kilograms? Nobody, one person. So you all think it's going to be more than 8 kilograms. Okay, let's see what happens here. We've got to add the weight of all these goodies here to the dial gauge reading. Okay, Dave? Do we know the dead weight of all this? Okay, how much is that? $700 grams for the jig. So it's 1.5 kilograms we've got to add to the score. Okay, you can start. Please start. Now we've got 2 judges here, 3 judges. They're going to see what the score is. What is the load so far? 12. You'll see the load. It should go up there. We can kill this machine here.
20, 25, 30,
30 kilograms.
35.
It's leaning towards you.
30, 30, good. Come back. 33. Okay, you're writing it down.
Is that 35? Yep.
No.
It took 35 plus 1.5. That's pretty good, eh? So that's 36.5 for that. Okay, we're going to have Jeffy Girls High and Danville Park next. Jeff, Alison, you know something about the children, the pupils?
This is
the team?
This is an interesting submission or structure built by definitely non-civil engineers. One doesn't have a clue as to what they're going to do. The next one's going to be a dentist, and the other speech pathologist. I think it says here speech something something. There's a problem when you've got to read somebody else's writing.
Sorry.
So we have to check on...
Speech therapist. It's like that.
Say that, but anyway.
Right. So this is Jeffy Girls High. Now let's see whether the past president gets his wish. Who thinks it's going to hold more than 36.5, the last score? And who thinks it's going to be less? Well, we have one person only. Okay. They think it's going to be more than 36.5. I can start. And we're going to look over there at the back. You'll see the load coming up. It's now 15. It's now 20. It's coming up to 25. Going around to 30. Well, he said 36.5. It's going up to 40. 45. We got problems tonight. Our machine's not going to work, you know. 45. I don't know what we're going to do. Hey? So what is that score? 58.5 plus 1.5. Including it, 58.5. You know, we better go back to Cape Town and get a few more balance weights and things. The next school must come up, Mambasa High, and we got Danville Park coming first. You come through first. Danville Park is from Durban. Where's Greg? Greg, what are we going to do about weight? We know, but we also. I don't have a look now. Okay, Danville High. Who thinks this is going to be more than the last one? There's one man there. He likes this bridge. He's got shares in it. Another man. Okay, two of you. The rest think it's going to be less than 58.5, I presume. You know, I liked O'Brien Downey. He had a wonderful comment when I was trying to estimate bridges. He says, I'm always wrong, but always very confident. Anyway, I'm not estimating this one. They've only got two guys who say it's going to be over 58.5. Danville Park. Okay, we can turn it now. Okay. Now this is up to 15, going up to 20. There's a chance it's going to go a bit sideways because it doesn't have any cross braces here. It's 45. Now 50. It's going up to 55. 55, was it? 55. Plus 1.5, it's 56.5. We didn't win on that one, eh? Yeah, we must take the weight, self-weight of the bridge into account. We've got the self-weight in the first column there. Mabato High are now, Etosha High are next. Mabato High, Etosha High. Mabato High. Let's see your bridge show to the people. Okay, here it is. Do you think it's going to take more than 58.5? Present winner? Mabato High. Now this is very interesting. You'll see it's got a curved deck. See the curved deck? It almost reminds you of these Chinese gardens, Japanese gardens. It's even got a bell tower for lights. Okay, Mabato High. In case you don't know where Mabato is, I believe it's at Mafeking. Can you tell us anything about the Mabato High? People, no? Anything there? Use your mic.
In Mabato, we've got a doctor, an architect, an electrical engineer, and an engineering. Whatever the engineering is, we won't know. Ooh.
33.5. It is a joint that gave way over back here. 33.5. Does that include the 1.5? So 33.5 plus 1.5. So 35. Ryan is 35. Okay. Etosha High are next, and then Vonderboom.
Atosha, hi. Do you want to tell them? We have one Russian here and two Americans. Give them a big hand. Okay. They call this the International Bridge Competition. We got not only Namibia, but we've got three people from very far away. I have a feeling they want to make money, not do engineering. What were they going to do? Electronic. Missile. Okay, Tosha, hi. Yes, please. We gave the teams dowel rods, 2 dowel rods, which have caused no end of trouble to our calculations, because we get a lot more strength using dowel rods from these thin, fine pieces. Right, getting on for 50. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, gosh. What is the score, please? 55 and a half is the total score for that one. 56.5. The next one is Wonderboom and then Danefeld. Brian, can you do us a sort on the last one? Oh, you have? Hey?
Well done.
There's something wrong with the score. We must multiply by 200 kilograms must be multiplied by 200. Wonderboom and Danefeld. Wonderboom is from near Pretoria.
Here we have a very loyal father because Pa is a civil engineer and all these boys are going to be civil engineers.
I'd like to tell you about one of these ancient bridges, the Hellespont. This is a favorite story about Xerxes. He built a bridge of 674 boats in 2 lines, and that was over a water distance of 1 mile, 1.5 kilometers. And he took 2 million men and animals across there in 7 days and 7 nights. Then he went to near Athens, and he got beaten up by the Athenians and the Spartans who didn't play fair. The Athenians came out and chopped off the oars on the one side of his ship, so they sort of went around in circles. And they were beaten at the Battle of Salamis, and then after that they went back over the same bridge. 2 years later, the bridge was still intact. I'll tell you another story about that later. Right, we're going on now. So we're with Wonderboom School and Danefeld.
$45, $50.
What's the score so far here?
$50, $55.
55.
$60. $65. $70. $75. $80.
$80.
$85. $90. $95. Whoop, two out of the top. 100.
Right. Now we've got to test them now. We're going to put these loads on. No, you need more than that. That's only 15.
We can definitely see Pa had a hand in this, eh? Reinforced rods.
Club or health club or something? Do any of you have membership in one? We need some more weights, I think. I was telling you about Xerxes. The story I didn't tell you was how he built his bridge originally. He appointed a civil engineer. The engineer put across a beautiful bridge, and a storm came up and washed it away. So Xerxes had his formula to deal with civil engineers. He took him down to the beach, and he flogged the ocean, and he chopped the civil engineer's head off, and he said he now called for another volunteer. And he got another volunteer, and that was the bridge that stood up. You can cut it. What? Not even man.
75 again.
I'd rather you did, yeah.
100, 105, 110, 115.
Was that 115 plus 1.5? 119.5, the judges say. 119.5. Why, we're in trouble tonight. It's going to be Danefeld and Petersburg. We just start with the weight. Danefeld. Danefeld comes from Uppington.
Here we have a pilot.
We have a pilot here among this team, yeah. We've got, in fact, 3 pilots tonight. I don't know why. Yes, three of them they're going to become pilots instead of civil engineers. Dynamic load.
These guys didn't do their training at Health and Racket this morning. You can see their battling.
I think they sent their wives to the Health and Racket Club. I said we thought that the machine would be tested tonight. Right. Mine, don't turn the fridge, eh?
between piles were 8 meters long, 50 spans. And I wonder whether any contractors can do that today. Finished in 10 days, eh? Finished in 10 days. That is 50 spans, 8 meters. And then, just typical of Caesar, after he'd gone across, he didn't want anyone to follow, so he destroyed it 15 days later. Unbelievable. The Pont du Gard, beautiful bridge, built at the time of Christ, when Christ was born, southern France by engineers. And if you think of East London, what is the highest building in East London? How many stories? 17. Are you sure? 17, was it? This bridge was 15 stories high. 15 stories high. It carried water at the top and traffic down below. Well, this is a bit of a problem, isn't it? Danefeld. That's where the crocodile come out in the Orange River. It's got the longest railway bridge in the world, hasn't it, at Uppington? Yes? What? I can't hear. It's unsymmetrical. This is. The load is unsymmetrical. Support is unsymmetrical. We've got to, wait a bit. We've got to move it over a bit. We're getting the wrong bending moment diagram. We're going to move that away.
Not symmetric, yeah.
It's starting to make a noise around about 25 kgs. It's complaining a bit. Okay, Danefield's bridge, can we load it, please? You'll notice there's... Yeah. What is the load? 37.5 total. Eh? Yeah. Brian Holdridge, I think you've got some scores to tell us. The leading school at the moment is Hoërskool Wonderboom, with 122.5 as the total score. The next one is Etosha, 56.9. Good shape for going across a valley, but only if you had a pack horse. Right. Can we have the next one, please? And this is interesting. You'll see there's a bridge with a little chapel, as it were, on the top. It is a toll bridge. We're going to come back to the schools in a moment. This is Petersburg that's coming. And after that, there's Rock Ferreira.
This one's also got a chapel on top. So this one's also got a chapel on top.
Is how many meters off the flat water level? 12 meters, isn't it? Something like that. If the dam is overflowing, just overflowing, that bridge is something I think like 12 meters above. But it's way back upstream. So when this
the flood comes down, what happens? The water level rises in that area, that region, and it actually touches the bottom of the bridge. Now you've got a problem. You've got a bridge that is hollow, and water's coming up, and what do you think is going to happen? It's going to float away. So to stop it floating away, they drilled little holes in the bottom of the concrete, so the water can come into the void of the bridge, and therefore it doesn't float away. Very clever. That took hydraulics experts to work that one out. Next, please. Now, here we've got one of the beautiful bridges, Golden Gate Bridge. Now, Golden Gate isn't the longest bridge in the world. The Americans would like to believe it is. But there are bridges now that are being built that are designed 3.3 kilometers long. Very, very long. Okay, we're ready. We'll come back to this one later. Thank you. We hope we're ready. This is Petersburg, is it? Now, we owe a special apology to Petersburg. Last time they were in a competition, we had two sets of rules, and they built according to one set of rules, and we weren't aware of that, and we thought they were disqualified. They were not. They came about fourth or fifth. We did test their bridge, and we owe them a tremendous apology for last time. Okay. Who thinks this is going to take more than 60 kilograms? Any takers? Petersburg, do you? Yeah. The rest of you not so sure. You think the apparatus is going to, the testing apparatus is going to break first, don't you?
50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100.
This should be more than that. Right, so what's the load for that? The next school is Rob Ferreira, followed by Stutterheim. Can you tell us about some of the schools?
Rob Ferreira and Stutterheim. Before I tell you about the school, is John Petzer here, please? Petzer. Anybody? This is dreadful because Lisa wants to meet you around the corner. Anybody? No. Okay. Anybody want to meet you around the corner?
Can I borrow the notes?
Yes.
Thank you. Rob Ferreira Hoerskool. Van Witrivier. Henry Deploy, ingenieur or an architect. Henning van Wyk, veearts of een ingenieur. Let's push it further back. So, there we are. Push these knots back. Can I do this properly? Because it's too loose now. Okay. Okay. Rob Ferreira se skool.
50. 65. 75.
Total load, please. Total load? 76, is it? Sorry, 78. We're having trouble adding 1.5. 78.
So that's still Wonder Woman in the lead.
The next set of teams are Stutterheim, Oudtshoorn, followed by Greenside. This is Stutterheim. In Stutterheim, we have Justin, who's going to become a computer programmer. Bit more forward. No, I'm looking at the members. The members says the carriage. Stutterheim. We're going to have a pilot here, Dean Pedro, and a landscape architect, Piet van der Heeuwen. So, Stutterheim. That's where they cut timber.
40. 50. 60. Ooh. 70.
What is the total load, please? 72.5 for Stutterheim. Oudtshoorn, followed by Greenside, followed by Daniel Pina. And this one's rather difficult to see. It was taken in the Norwegian winter. It's a beautiful bridge at the Brugbou Glacier. All that water is ice which is melting, and it comes through under the bridge. You can see a horse-drawn vehicle going across the bridge. I will come back to this one. Got to come this back with this loading frame. Back there. Okay. A bit that way. We apologize for the loading rig. We like the system, but it's not working too well. Was this go over a bit? No, it looks all right from here. The bridge must go over a bit. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, person. This is Oudtshoorn, isn't it? Yes. This is the place where the elephant was famous, wasn't it? Langenhoven. Oudtshoorn. Tell us the score there,
40,
please, Alison.
50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110.
What is the total score?
111.5.
111.5, please. Brian.
Okay, that puts them into third place, second place.
This is Greenside. Greenside is near a golf course. But our students, one is going to become a civil engineer, one a mechanical engineer, one a biomedical engineer, and none of them are going to become golfers. I think this is the last one from the Wits area, isn't it? What's going to happen? I think there's time for a word from our sponsors. Who is the list of our sponsors? Brian, please. We're going to show our sponsors. Spoornet. DNA Timbers. Spoornet, thank you very much. Nestle, Ubertech, Daily Dispatch, there are a whole lot of others. We read out most of them today. Right.
Okay.
Greenside. This is going to be up to par, this thing.
40, 50, 60, 70.
Final score? 71.5? Brian, 71.5, thank you. The next school is Daniel Pina, followed by Kimberley Boys A, and then St. John's College, Transkei. And they come from the Taste van die Volkswagen, Udenhaag. Now, what do you think the score is going to be here? Do you think this is going to beat 100 kilograms? Who thinks it's going to beat 100 kilograms? There are a few people, right? I think these people who are struggling with this apparatus need a big hand. It's not the fault of the apparatus, it's just that our teams this year are really good.
Are we ready? On your marks.
This is Don Pinar, is it?
40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90,
Righto. What is the final score, Alison?
95.5.
95.5, nearly 100. You guys are known as Galloping Gertie. Now the favorite sport in that region, this was between Canada and USA, favorite sport on Saturday afternoons was to get your sports car, put your lady love in the sports car, and take her across Galloping Gertie. And Galloping Gertie used to gallop even in a very mild wind. Surprising. It didn't gallop when the wind was strong, only with the mild wind, because it resonated with the bridge. The bridge sort of got very, very jolly in a mild wind, until eventually it fell like that. You can see a car coming down, but the man had already run out of the car. And the interesting thing here, that gave that design back to the same civil engineer who designed it. Yes, and he did a good job at standing now. That is Galloping Gertie, Tacoma Narrows Bridge. Thank you. Kimberley Boys A. Remember, they are going to be challenged by Kimberley Girls. I don't know why the Kimberley Girls are called the B team, eh? Maybe the A team play basketball. Kimberley Boys. We expect around about 90 for this.
50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. We got a problem.
We're going to put 2 more weights on. Then we're sending out the guys to pay their subs for the record club. Get some more weights. I think you must go over this way, towards you. That's it. Oh, now we've got brave people who get to turn the handle here.
Derek, what is the starting weight?
Another 10 kgs.
35.
Kimberley boys.
60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110.
We take the highest score. What was it first time? 125. We'll take 125. Lani Bardley is going into engineering. All three. But up top here, if it's central, it's missing that. It's all right. Yeah. So you move it slightly forward there. I think you don't need them all. I don't know, maybe. I think we got a better chance if you put all the weights on, actually. Anyone from now on, we should maybe put all the weights on. Do you agree? You don't agree? Every time you unload, the second time it doesn't carry the same load. Sorry? There's only one where we reload it. You're taking the 10 off? Oh, well, we're going to put them on again soon. A bit nearer to Dave, further back, okay? All right, that's fine. Okay, St. John's College. I believe they've done away with the pont in St. John's College. They built a bridge now. And after that will be Stellenbosch and Maritzburg College.
Well, we're going very quick.
How much? 50 and a half. 50.5. Huh? We're putting it all the weights on, yes. Hang on. Just off the bridge of it. Okay. Yeah, we can, but we've had a request. Wonderboom was unloaded at 100. Must we unload these at 100? My own feeling is that these are going to be a lot stronger than Wonderboom eventually, even if we unload them. And I've got a problem with that. Everyone? I think we'll keep the weights on, but we'll record your concern about it. Stellenbosch, Maritzburg College and Middelburg. What happens if we can't break a bridge with all of this? We're going to set it aside, and we're going to see whether there are any others that are similar. You're going to stand on it. That won't break it. Stellenbosch.
break early. It's making a noise.
Where are we?
What's the load, please?
70,
70,
80,
80,
90,
90,
100,
100,
110.
100. So what is the score then? 111.5. Thank you. Brian, 111.5. Cinnamoss, Management College in Middleburg. Knaresborough in Middleborough. It's an invention, like a gadget for testing bridges or whatever. But Heath Robinson was a civil engineer. The cartoonist was a civil engineer, Heath Robinson. And there you see his method for launching a bridge with balloons. Heath Robinson, thank you. Maritzburg College in Middleburg, and Empangeni. All the way. College. Tell us about it, please, Alison.
60, 70, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 135, 141 and a half.
141 and a half. A civil engineer, and Timo van der Nest, who wants to be a civil engineer. Sy oom is 'n siviele ingenieur en 'n argitek. Middleburg Foundation's in the middle of a wave-washed beach. It's quite something. To put down caissons, a sort of wall, to dig out the soil, keep it dry, put in concrete, it's quite something. Hey? Due to low tide, I've looked at low tide, it's the way it still comes.
We have to get the health and records sponsor next year. So, not the next.
By the way, we've also got two strange entries which we might have to test.
Yeah, we're okay.
Middleburg. $40, $50. No, I'm going mad. $70, $80,
90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 135. Do we? Watching with bated breath. There they go. It's the top of the heap. Give them a
hand. Of wood. You see those little struts coming up under the bridge? It's a technique now used by the reinforced concrete bridge engineers. Let's look at the next one, please. There you see, Maillot use the same principles. That's in Switzerland, a beautiful bridge. One more. And there's another Swiss bridge, built a long time ago for rail traffic. Thank you. This is the bridge by Mpangeni, and if you come up and look at these details, it is quite fantastic. The workmanship here. But the way in which they have countersunk one piece into another is very good. Doesn't make it stronger, but it makes it look good. Mpangeni, a beautiful bridge.
$40, $50, $60, $70, $80, $90, $100, $110, $120, $135,
It's called Devil's Bridge in the St. Gotthard Pass. Beautiful. You won't find that bridge today. Huh? Fallen down, yes. Let's have the next one, please. Here you see different types of bridges. The Basque Bridge, London Bridge at the bottom. Thank you. Next one. And this is the original London Bridge. London Bridge is falling down. You remember the nursery rhyme? They built shops and flats virtually on the bridge, and it got burnt down and fell down. The rats got into it. It's a good thing it actually got burnt down. The new bridge next to it. Thank you. Several artists have painted bridges. This is by Cotman. And if you go to the CNA now, you'll buy watercolor paints. They are named after Cotman. That's in England. Another one, please. Another bridge by Cotman. This is a beautiful bridge, isn't it? You can get two versions of it, with cows and without cows. And I can assure you that if you want to buy English painting and it's valuable, you've got to have cows in the water. Thank you. Camps Bay, followed by Grey College.
50, 60, 70. Oh, the apparatus has given up.
What's the load, please, Alice?
Next year the engineers will design the rig.
Tell us there what the load is, please, Alison.
50, 60, 70, 75. Failed scale.
What's happening? With this, with two arms, you can have another guy in another chair, another guy, and you hold your hands like this, and you make yourself a cantilever bridge. The steel arch bridge, that's the one at Sydney Harbour. Suspension bridge, you've seen those, and a concrete arch bridge. Also at Sydney Harbour, they've got that concrete arch bridge called Gladesville Bridge. There you see Gladesville Bridge in the foreground, and you see Sydney Harbour Bridge in the background. Next one, please. And that was how the Sydney Harbour Bridge was built, from both sides. And eventually they had a gap of only 1 inch, which they had to close, and it was planned that way. And that was built by Dorman Longs many years ago. Here. And here you see a typical coastal arch in England. But if ever you want to see one in South Africa, you must go to Knysna and catch the ferry across to a place called the Featherbeds. Now the Featherbeds is a nature reserve, and the reason why it's called the Featherbeds is that the old ships, the schooners, used to come in the harbour mouth. They'd be rocking at sea for months. They'd come in and they'd park just near there, and the sailors could sleep as though they were in a featherbed. It becomes a mechanism.
80, 90, 100, 110.
Was that?
No, 115,5, in fact.
150. Okay. We have another challenge you may not know. The teachers were a little bored. They got together and they built 2 bridges. And at the end of the show, we're going to test the teachers' bridges to see whether they are stronger than any of these. One is a very light bridge, which is quite interesting. Probably the lightest in the whole group. This is Great College. I seem to remember, Alison, that you had a soft spot for Grey College. Bloemfontein. All these people are going to become engineers. But the story is that niks gebeur in Bloemfontein behalwe Grey College. Hansie Cronje went to Grey College, so this must be a good bridge.
40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90.
There. Another one there, there, okay. You can come back a bit. Come back quite a bit. And then after that, we're going to have Kimberley Technische Hogeschool, huh? Technische Hogeschool.
Macy's afdeling.
Yep.
St. Augustine, Zimbabwe, we're loading it up.
50. No, just a minute.
We got a very brave man under here.
Yep.
St. Augustine.
70. Go, you're going too fast here. 70. 80. 90. No, not quite. 100. 105. 110. 115.
What was that one? $120,5. And this is my last slide. This is in the North Sea off Norway. In the sea they have this tremendous whirlpool. Now when you come across whirlpools like that, you've got to be careful. You need your bridges. But there's another interesting story while I'm showing this. Have you ever thought of a ship on the ocean and it sails over a gas field, an oil gas field, and the oil bubbles come up? Do you think the water with the oil bubbles are going to help you to float? Or is your ship going to sink? It's going to sink, yes, yes. Unbelievable. That's hydraulics for you. Structures are safer. Thank you. Right, these are the ladies. What's the problem?
No, we're okay now. Yep. Are we resting against the...
And these are the ladies who are going to beat the men.
The gun. The gun. 50. Hey, oh! Oh, my nerve.
What happened?
60. 70. 80. 9.
It's breaking at the support back here.
86.
Otherwise, it's okay.
And the boys celebrate in the front here?
Yeah, but that was just a bridge out of joint in one corner. I mean, it was a very good bridge. They would have won, yeah. What load did it take? 91.5. Thank you, Brian. Now we got two outsider challenges who pointed out that their bridge was loaded up and then unloaded.
$40, $50, $60, $70, $75, $79, $80.
That reminded me of Snap, Crackle and Pop.
81.5. Okay, Brian, 81.5 for that one. This is Dave Tennant. This is Greg Cummins, and your name? Lee Mellon.
Wow, here we go.
And Brian Holdridge.
You can all read this. 5, 10, 15. This is 3. Wow. Oh.
It hasn't flowed yet. No, that's called standing up, isn't it? Wait a minute. Move it over there. Okay. What was the load? 16.5 total. Okay, thank you.
Don't protect the diaper.
I also want to thank Mr. Mapila Babisa, who's been helping us with the order of... I think all of you would agree that although Spoornet has sponsored also some of the bridge building competition around the country, if we didn't have the students, we couldn't have gotten here where we are now. Give them a big hand, please. So it's a pleasure for us to be part of this event. And I think, the way our country is going now, there is a dire need that we get all of these kind of minds that we are trying to employ, and them also applying the minds to bridges and everything that goes with civil engineering. That is going to be our future. And there's no way a company like Spoornet cannot be a good corporate citizen to also say that we should be part of that. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd also like to thank the teachers who've come so far, and they've given us an idea, because in future we're going to have a teachers' competition. Now, we have the floating trophy. It's a bit heavy, it doesn't float so easy, but nevertheless, last year we had Hoërskool Stellenbosch, die vorige jaar, and the previous year to that it was St. Henry's, Maritzburg College, Durban. Now we got a new place for it, Hoër Technical School, Middelburg. Can they come up, please? They want you to just face the camera, please. Dr. Stevens, camera. We also have a special check for your school. This is a special check, 800 Rand for the school itself. And each member of the team also gets a check, but we got to write those out when we have the names. We also have a check for the Hoërskool Wonderbome. Will they come up, please, to get the check for the school, please? Oh, yes, October. And we also have another check for Maritzburg College, please.
came third. I also want to thank the judges for their competent help. Thank you very much indeed. Chris Thompson, Alison Lawrence, and Gary. Right, now, these people will each receive checks later, and I think we really deserve to give a round of applause to the brave men who are operating this machine. And we want to thank the chairman of the Congress Committee here in East London for inviting everybody here. Thank you very much. And that concludes this evening. Thank you very much for your attendance. Thank you, Mr. President, for coming and for staying. We appreciate it, although your interest is in hydraulics. Thank you. All right. Just wait a moment. Wait a moment. There's something here. I don't know what it's about.
Working. Okay, thanks very much for your patience throughout the competition. We appreciate it and apologize for the disruption. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank again Professor Sparks for coming all the way from UCT to join us here and to host the event. I've just got a few small gifts here. Firstly, for Dr. Stevens, we're really grateful to Spoornet for assistance and for your attendance here today. Thanks very much. And then to the judges, Alison, I don't know whether you want to make your way up here. Yeah, I can imagine. Great. Well, thanks very much, Alison. I realize that you're obviously here as well for the Congress, and we appreciate your time at the Bridge Building.
I think next year we should be giving a present to these guys who've been weightlifting. So we won't be standing up here receiving them. We're going to organize weightlifting prizes. But thanks very much. This feels quite heavy.
Thanks again. And also to Sean Garish, our second judge. Sean, thanks very much for your time as well. And last but certainly not least, to our third judge, Chris Thompson, who is also local. Thanks very much. Well, thanks very much, and thanks very much again for your attendance this evening. We certainly appreciate it, and those who are staying for the remainder of the Congress, I hope you enjoy yourselves. Thanks very much, and have a good evening.